Hello and welcome to another exciting movie review. Today we'll actually be reviewing a film that's both in theaters and free to stream on Peacock if you actually have Peacock, and that is Five Nights at Freddy's.
Hello there, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and children.
Now, if you're not familiar with Five Nights at Freddy's, it is actually based on a game. In all honesty, this is probably one of the films that have done pretty well adapting from a video game to a movie. Not as good as, of course, Sonic that we've had, or some of the other better ones like Mario. But overall, though, it does step up to the realms of being a decent flick based on a video game. Now, I have never played the video game in my life. Never have I had the chance or had any real desire to play it. But regardless, though, I do know that there's a huge cult following, and in all honesty, this is the description that the film is about. A troubled security guard begins working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. During his first night on the job, he realizes that the night shift won't be so easy to get through. Pretty soon, he will unveil what actually happened at Freddy's. Essentially, what is happening is you have, of course, Josh Hutcherson, who plays Mike. He is a older brother taking care of his younger sister, just mainly because of the fact that something happened to the parents. I kind of lost track of exactly how they lost him, but he's watching his younger sister. During this time period, he is kind of known as a troubled child, and he goes to this location where it helps find him a job. Of course, the main character in that seat is played by Matthew Lillard, who I am a huge fan of, especially in the horror genre, because he is a horror legend in that sense. I mean, you have the Scream franchise that he kickstart and made very well known for. You have the Scooby-Doo, which, yeah, I understand that that's not really horror. Though, fun fact, it was supposed to be more of a horror flick. Then, of course, you have to do 13 Ghosts as well. So he is well known within that horror genre. He does play a character in this film named Steve Raglan. So he is in this film and does a wonderful job. But regardless, though, you do have Josh Hutcherson, who plays, again, Mike, and he is a security guard at this location. First night, nothing really happens. Maybe the second night, he finds out that he gets a cut. Overall, though, you find out these animatronics are alive, and they are killer animatronics. Both pun intended and actual legitimately intended in the sense of they will kill you. Now, later on, I won't give too much detail, but you find out why they are alive. It does bring a spirituality, kind of like a possession in a way, to the mechanics of these animatronics as well. So you do have that essence. Again, I can't really go into much of this flick other than what I've already said, because it kind of gives away the storytelling as well as really the whole plot. And not really a twist if you know many of Matthew Lillard's character, especially within the horror franchises or genre. So again, I can't really say much without giving the whole detail, the whole plot. So I'll let you guys go see it, because again, it's free to watch on Peacock. You can watch it in the theater if you want, but in all honesty, though, this is a fun flick. Now, when it comes to overall storytelling, the arc itself, it's okay. It honestly it doesn't really flatline, but it does keep somewhat interesting within that middle end there. The one thing I may not have enjoyed so much is, of course, when you have Mike falling asleep and dreaming about other kids and his family and like his parents, and then his brother being kidnapped. So that I felt kind of took it away from the overall aesthetic of the film. They could have done it a little bit differently and kind of made this film a little bit more whole, a little bit more within that horror genre, because whenever that happens, it takes you out of that horror essence, out of that cinematography of like the blues and the blacks, and kind of provides more of a vibrant vibe to it. So I kind of got lost in the detail on that, as far as being taken out and then brought back in. So honestly, that's my only issue with the film. But overall, though, the film was a lot of fun. It is something very similar to how individuals may see Krampus or watch the film Krampus that came out in, 5 years ago? No, actually more than 5 years ago now. Probably 2016, I believe that film came out. And of course, Krampus is a horror flick but made for Christmas. This is something similar to Krampus in the sense that it is a fun film to watch during Halloween. So I highly recommend it. As always, Matthew Lillard plays a wonderful role in whatever he does. Josh Hutcherson does a wonderful job as well. The little girl who plays his sister, wonderful. So overall, all the acting was perfectly fine. The storytelling, again, in the middle kind of dragged a little bit and everything that I've already mentioned. But regardless, though, from a video game element to this, from what I've read, they've added a lot of Easter eggs to it. They've done a lot of fan service too, and that's big too. When you do a video game to film, is a lot of fan service helps that quality. This film is something that was blasted on Rotten Tomatoes with a very low score, but the thing is I believe critics' score was at 40%, but fans 80%, I believe. So right there, it tells you exactly who this film or what this film's kind of pans to, and that is the fans. And that's what every video game movie should be, is to the fans, because that's where you're going to make your money. That's where you're going to get your fan services in that element in that way. I do hope that they make more, especially since they do tease about a sequel. So overall, I highly recommend this film. Go see it, regardless theater or Peacock. Make sure you subscribe to the channel as well as follow us on all social platforms. We'll see you next time for the next review.